And today we're going to be talking about what students don't learn financial literacy. So we'll be kind of talking about what they are learning and compared to what we've been teaching all these other videos about what they should learn. So we'll be kind of comparing and contrasting those. We'll be doing that next. All right, so in this video, I'm not really going to be talking specifically about the money things they are taught and they aren't taught. Now, I'm going to be taught about the things that they really aren't taught. It's all related to the true power, and that's your mindset, understanding, taking responsibility, taking ownership for certain aspects of your thinking, building the right habits, building the positive beliefs and values around money, a positive relationship with those. All those things which are mindset related, what we'll be discussing in this video. Ultimately, students don't really learn what it means to take responsibility in this context. We grow up at times, you need to take more responsibility, you need to take more responsibility. And some of the things we talk about that, we don't really show them how to go about doing that. So specifically, talk about time, let's talk about money, understanding where your time goes and where your money goes. Both of those show a whole lot about what you value, could easily be done together. You need to be taking responsibility for what you believe about money, about wealth, about work, about vacation and pleasure, and all of these kind of value type things. What do you believe about those? What are the labels that you've given yourself or you've accepted? All of these labels and beliefs and decisions you made, particularly in the context of money, are something you need to begin to analyze. You need to take responsibility for them. Taking responsibility really then leads to this idea of owning it and cleaning it up. So you've made a list. You've identified the labels that you have, the beliefs you have, the decisions that you've made around money, what you've learned from your family, what you've seen with your family. Let me tell you a story of one of my business coaches, somebody I have a lot of respect for, who grew up hearing stories from his grandfather who escaped from Cuba. His grandfather had been a barber in Cuba, right? Then Fidel Castro comes in and takes over. And soldiers walk in to this barber shop. Who owns this? Oh, I do. Not anymore. And they took it. The government took it, forced him to go to work in the fields. He was able to escape Cuba and bring his kids with him, the parents of my business coach. And my business coach grew up hearing that story. And hearing that story, as he began to get into business himself, he began to have this fear of losing money. And that drove him in some regards, maybe positive, to work hard, keep going after it. But in many regards, according to he himself, too hard. He pushed people too hard. He was too fearful of losing, so he was driving constantly and pushing everybody too hard, too much, because of that fear, right? So we need to learn to clean all that up. We need to learn to let go of those, to let go of these beliefs, identify them, let go of them. That's that second component that kids are not taught how to do or shown how to do. Helping people, empowering people with habits is incredibly powerful. I learned money management kind of habits from watching my dad. His routine at night was after dinner and all, my mom cleaned up, was he would go to his little office and he'd work on money, manage his money, looking at the investments, looking at their budgets, seeing how they were doing, taking track of what might have been spent that day. And as I got older, I'd ask and he would begin to show me. Somewhere along the line, one of my failures as a father, as a parent, was these habits I thought I modeled for my kids, but for a few of them, they don't have those habits of sitting down on a regular basis, looking at their budget, looking at their bank statements, taking care of their money, investing, looking at investments, learning. It's not a habit at all. And it needs to be, as young adults, they need to have that as a habit. Those habits, as you get older, become harder to ingrain, right? So, as parents out there, I would encourage you to do anything in your power to help build those habits at a very young age. And and I don't, in hindsight, we didn't do it long enough or hold them enough accountable for it. So my kids will even tell you we had these little money envelopes using these techniques with allowance to begin to show them how to do that. But we didn't help them create that real habit of doing it. So if they get allowance, they would just tuck it in. And we weren't following up to make sure they put it in the right envelope, or they're writing it down, they're keeping track every day. Let's sit down right now and record your money, see how you're doing. If it's not daily, at least weekly. Begin early, one step at a time, and over time it becomes a habit, and those habits are priceless. The other thing that, to all you parents out there, is you want to shape the positive beliefs and values. So whether it's your own or those of your kids, like some of your own beliefs might be that, the big business is just out to, it's all about a buck. They'll do anything for a buck. Whether that's true or not, it's probably not a belief worth believing in. It certainly limits you, right? You want to look at those beliefs that you have, and then look at beliefs around highly successful people with long-term wealth. In many beliefs, if you begin looking at some of the classic works on wealth creation, Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon, things like that, you get a much clearer picture on what true entrepreneurship is and what true capitalism is. And that is all about service. And the more people you can serve, the more you can provide a valuable service or product at a reasonable price, the wealthier you will become. And with your wealth, the more people you can empower and the more good that you can do. The whole idea for people like Dale Carnegie and some of these, quote, robber barons, including the Rockefellers, was you earn all this money so you can give it away, right? So you start universities and you start foundations like Carnegie Mellon University or the Rockefeller Foundation, and you give back to the community. That's kind of what you do. That's why you create all this in the first place. So your beliefs and your values are going to drive your ability to create wealth. Now, your purpose in life might not be to be the next Elon Musk. Fine. You don't need to be that rich and powerful to have a significant impact and to create some lasting wealth for your family. I was a teacher for practically my whole professional career, right? My wife and I were both teachers. Weren't necessarily what I would consider wealthy, right? But we were doing some things with our wealth to create more wealth so our kids would have something. I was getting something for inheritance from my parents because of the way they managed their wealth. My dad was an architect and my mom was a school librarian, right? Understanding how to take care of your money through financial literacy, invest it properly, doing something that you love, serving people in whatever capacity that means, you have the potential to create wealth that you can then hand down to the next generation. To what degree depends on your tolerance for risk and a whole bunch of other factors. But it's available to you, right? with the right beliefs, with the right mindset, with the right understanding of money and how it all works, you have that opportunity to take care of yourself and to help influence that next generation. That just wraps up our series, at least for now, on financial literacy. We've got like 20 videos in on this topic. We might come back to it under different avenues, depending on what people's questions are asking, right? Maybe we delve in more into investing or some of these others, always with a lens of mindset. But we encourage you to subscribe to our channel and check out other videos in particular you might be interested in. What does the Bible say about financial literacy? So check that out. Check out all our videos and keep coming back for more.